Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grim Reaper coming at you for another video for Raid the Shadows. Today we're going to look at a clan boss team that I recently built out. This is my first time building a DETHYTHA comp, so it was a bit of an interesting build, should we say, and an interesting time. It definitely did take me a little bit longer than a normal traditional clan boss team like a man-eaters or the tower comps, which I've experienced building before. So, as you can see, we're on Tim's account. I've been on Tim's account quite a few times on the channel. We built him his first ever Ultra Nightmare Freaky team back in January, if I'm not mistaken, where we achieved a Freaky team on Ultra Nightmare. Today we come back to his account. I think it was yesterday on stream where I was looking at his account and we built him a new clan boss team. Now I have made videos on his account before on Hydra and Classic Arena and done quite a few takeovers and stuff like that for Tim. So we're back again looking for the 1 key Ultra Nightmare. His gear is not quite there yet to get the 1 key, but we are looking at easy ways right now to improve it. I will get into how to improve his team after the clan boss run. We have got the recording of the clan boss run, which is what I'm going to show you in a second. We do amazingly well, so let's get into the run and then I'll explain the speed tunes, show you the gear and stuff like that. So I'll see you after the recording. Enjoy the music. there is the run. 60 mil key. I think that's quite respectful. Definitely more or less just under damage. Double damage is key. I think it was doing around about 30 to 35 key on Ultra Nightmare before the takeover. So yeah, very nice key. So let's go into the 5 champions and stuff like that. Obviously, Vermicraft can be replaced with any DPS. He is the DPS for this comp, and then the rest are all epic. So we are building him. We do have Brimstone to try and make extra damage. Now, the one thing I would like to point out is the A3 does give you extra turns, so we actually had to switch this off so the speed tune works. So we wasn't really left with many choices. The reason why I also use Vermicraft over Charger is because for this comp for Spirit you have to have a Force DPS. So for now, for Tim, this makes it easier to use Vermicraft over everyone else. So for now we'll stay with him, but we will change up the DPS in the future to try and give him the 1 key. So the masteries are quite simple. We do have the Giant Slayer, etc. going on here with Hexa to stand the poisons, and Law Steel for some extra stats, and then accuracy, and then critical damage. We do want to make sure that most importantly the speed tune is done. So the speed tune for Vermicraft as DPS is 156. I will link all the speeds and stuff down below in the comment section, so you can go check that out if you want. As you can see, fairly good attack, 4,000 attack. Now his gear is not amazing, so it is a bit of a stretch. We have 100% critical rate, 251 critical damage, and then we do have 254 to land the bombs, the poison, and the brimstone. So how are we building them then? We've got accuracy, chess, critical damage and attack, speed, attack, and critical damage, and then just trying to crit cap him and bring him the necessary stats. In future, I would like to see tap boots, and you could swap out the chess for accuracy, chess if you bring in a accuracy, if you bring a tap banner, so depending on what you've got available on your account. In future, I'd like to see tack, and then maybe a few perception sets to try and help them out with accuracy. I think that generally is the best way to go. We can't run Relentless in this comp, so Relentless is not it's not welcome. So yeah, Vermicraft is the slowest. The second slowest will be, I think it is Seeker. I think Seeker is the second slowest at 181. Now speeds in this, 169. The speeds in this comp is very tight, so it's something to bear in mind. So we got 169, 100% critical rate, critical damage, no need accuracy on his kit, and we got 3,951 on the attack. As you can see, we have no additional bonuses set from accuracy in live arena, so that's something that we don't really need to tend to worry about. So we've gone tap banner, critical damage, and attack. We've gone critical damage, attack, and tack, and then we have critical rate, attack, etc. So again, broken sets, just kind of keep it up. Bless him with the Phantom Touch. I generally do believe that is the best one. I don't think Cruelty is that good for this boss, generally because the clan boss doesn't have low defense. I did decide to go down with Retribution for this because generally in future, if you go to Bat Eater, it'll generally be a better set of masteries to take, and then War Master traditional War Mastery damage there. So again, critical damage sets for Seeker could be an option. Fury sets could be an option with Volord. I think Fury sets would Fury sets wouldn't do anything because it's a block damage comp, so I'll take that back. On man-eaters it does. For block damage, Fury sets don't do anything because your HP doesn't decrease. But you could use the counterattack sets to up your damage, so that's something to kind of bear in mind. Toxic sets not really needed. We keep a default bar filled up much as possible, so a toxic set would actually probably hurt its damage. So I definitely don't recommend doing that. So there is Seeker's build. We're going to go into Deacon Armstrong next. So again, it's kind of hard to replace any of these champions, but most people do have this gear. because they generally are epic. So the only legend we do have is the DPS slot. So yeah, so with Deacon, he is going to be running at 185. We have accuracy, critical damage, critical rate, and attack. I don't know why we have 100% critical rate, but at the end of the day, that's what the how Hades optimizer kind of pulled out, and we were struggling with the gear in the meantime. So these are the masteries. The gear is definitely not amazing on this account, so I think when he works up, it could be better. Geo could be a good slot as well for this comp. I was kind of surprised with her damage, but her damage was really good, and she did counterattack quite often, which is really cool to see. And again, Phantom Touch as a mastery. Didn't do the banner because it's speed tune, so we don't want to risk breaking the speed tune or anything like that. So again, damage can be pumped up in the near future for her. And when I re-look at this team in the future, this is what we'll look at to try and improve her speeds and damage. So again, attack 3000, critical rate. I did try and crit cap all the champions as much as possible. 246 speed is required. I didn't want to rip masteries off his his gear off his arbiter and stuff to make his life harder in that. The last championess comp is DETHYTHA. As you can see, she's not fully geared. She doesn't really get many turns anyway, so the most important on her is the speed tune at 268. None of these speed tunes are kind of crazy. We do use Deacon lead as well, so that generally does help to keep the speed down. And this is the gear, as you can see, and these are the masteries as well. So fairly easy team to build. We do have a AI setup on this team, so just gonna go ahead and try and show you this AI setup. I wonder if he's ran a key today. Doesn't look like he's ran any keys yet today. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's run any today so far. So, yeah, maybe he's going to run them later. But he does have force today. So, yeah, that's definitely an option. So the team setup as well, which is going to be here. Deacon's probably the hardest one, but we're going to open with A1 first, and then we come in with A2, and then he has to wait 2 turns until he does his extra turn. So make sure I set up, it won't work. If you're going to use Volgarath, you need to turn off the A2, and he does quite a bit of damage without the A3, sorry, so that needs to be switched off. She's pretty easy, you set her up like that. C-Code opens with A1 and then goes into his extra turn on the A2. And then DETHYTHA is pretty easy set up. Now again, if you do want to use this on Spirit, you do need to make sure that your DPS is force, because otherwise, and in the right turn order as well, he needs to be higher than HEIRESS in the turn order, or she will take the stun and the team composition will not work, as she'll take the turn and she'll miss a turn. So just bear that in mind. On any other Spirit, any other affinity for clan boss, you can run any DPS that you wish. This team will work perfectly fine, and it's something not to worry about. So just bear that in mind and keep that in mind. So there we are, guys. There is my team composition. There is the takeover. I'm really happy with the damage. I think Tim is really happy with the damage. I suppose I want to kind of mention my idea and try to get this to 1 key team, which I do feel that it can do. I do want to swap out Verka for Gina in the future, because Gina will again bring Brimstone, which will bring extra damage. He will bring a enemy max HP, which will do a lot of damage, and it hits very, very hard, and it's crazy good. His A2 also hits pretty well, and it will bring a weaken, so this will allow the whole team to do more damage and more raw damage to Seeker and HEIRESS and stuff like that, will generally do more damage as well with the weekend on there. So that's something I'd like to keep in mind. And Giant Slayer as well is always a nice bonus in that. So that's something you will need to keep in mind, and then maybe go to Vermicard for the Spirit. And also, because he's losing his poison champion, this will give him the option to use counter attack sets and to use toxic sets. So that's also another thing. So champions that don't hit crazy hard like DEACON and DETHYTHA could be a good options to have in a toxic set to also pump up his raw damage to get that one key. I generally believe if he does these three things, he will be able to get that one key fairly easily, even if his raw damage is not crazy or if his gear is not crazy. I don't know if he's got any counter attack gear right now, which is what I'm kind of looking for as we speak. We know we can't use Relentless because that breaks speed tune. So yeah, Retaliation is what we want. So that's a 2-piece set. You can actually run that with the Toxic set, and then we can run the Toxic set as well, which will give us just a 4-piece chance to place 2 poisons. There is a weakened version, but generally does help for damage. So there we are, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is my first time building out DETHYTHA. I'm the Grim Reaper. Peace out.